Okay, chapter 15. Any other points from chapter 15?
Spiritual world is a perverted
reflection of spiritual world. Yeah. So everything that we see in the material world also exists in spiritual world. But in the material world, we see that in a perverted reflection. And when we go back to spiritual world, we don't even look at the perverted reflection. So when you have a real mango, you don't look at the shadow or the reflection of the mango. So you only look at the mango. So when we go to spiritual world, so you will never come back to material world. That's what Krishna says in chapter 18 and chapter 15 also. Actually, he says, "Natad bhasayate suryo, nashashanko napavahakka, yadgatva na nivartante, taddhama paramam mama." Krishna says, "My abode," that means his Goloka Vrindavana, my abode in the spiritual world is not illumined by sun or electricity, but it is self-illumined. Swayam Prakash. His abode is Swayam Prakash. And one who comes to me, they will never return to this material world. Yad gatva nanivartante taddhama paramam mama. So Krishna gives glimpses of his spiritual world, how it looks like, like it is self-illumined. There is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. It is self-illumined and and there's an elaborative description in Bhagavatam, how it looks like. And Krishna here in chapter 15, he declares that one who comes to spiritual world, they will never return to the material world. Just like when we have a real mango, we'll never look at the shadow or the reflection of it. Okay, so that is chapter 15. Now, today we'll discuss chapter 16, 17, and 18. So chapter 16, titled as Divine and Demoniac Natures. Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Divine and demoniac natures. Divine and demoniac natures. So when we are practicing on the, actually before chapter 16, right? So the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are collectively known as Jnana Yoga. Okay. First 6 chapters, Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. So which is most important? Bhakti Yoga. So if Bhakti Yoga is most important, and in chapter 12, which is the last chapter in that section, in the middle section, which is titled as Bhakti Yoga itself, where Krishna talks about different stages of Bhakti. If that is the samam bonam or the culmination of Krishna's teachings, then what is the need of chapter 13 onwards? What is the need of chapter 13 to chapter 18? So Jnana Yoga is not superior to Bhakti Yoga. So technically Bhagavad Gita should have ended by chapter 12. So why did Krishna speak from chapter 13 onwards?
Has all the obstacles, or we can overcome the obstacles to Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
Jnana is in a way required to even get Bhakti. Some level of Jnana is required.
There's something to get the essence of Bhakti Yoga. You can't be totally immersed into Bhakti Yoga.
And it's kind of like provisioning for everyone, right? Like some people may use Karma Yoga to begin with. Ultimately, they may reach Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah.
Some may use Jnana Yoga to begin.
Okay.
Lord is trying to just provision for everyone. Everyone may not initiate with Bhakti Yoga.
Okay. Anything else?
So maybe
understand what like the jnana part is going to give you an understanding of what, like who and what Krishna is and what you need to be doing, and then you can like the essence of Bhakti Yoga, and then you can both of them.
Yeah, highest form of Bhakti also leads to Jnana, and highest form of Jnana also leads to Bhakti. It means in a way it's like 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, eventually Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, everything leads to Bhakti Yoga. But if Bhakti Yoga itself as a means to go to God, then what is the need of Jnana Yoga?
There's the need of like what you're doing, then you will probably lose interest in doing it. Yes.
Okay, it is
If
to
you
tell
don't
us.
know chanting and why you're chanting.
Yeah.
What want to chant because you don't know why you're gonna lose it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
When I was seeing like those who don't have intelligence, they also do bhakti for many years. So I don't think so. We need a jnana to do bhakti.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. To do
because
bhakti, you don't need
you
Jnana.
don't need any.
Yeah, you don't need Jnana.
Because if you want to do bhakti, you're just doing bhakti, right? You're just chanting. You don't require any knowledge.
And that Gyan that is needed to know about Krishna and all, that is part of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam. Shravanam, when you hear, you know about Krishna. Yeah. So this Jnana Yoga is more of, it's like a speculative knowledge, cultivating speculative knowledge about the Brahman. Yeah. So you said to sharpen our intelligence.
Yeah,
Radharaman Prabhu and then Shashank, right? Yeah, Radharaman Prabhu. Yeah, you're saying something?
No, I think I think maybe somebody already said it. Maybe to tell Arjuna, these are all the different mechanisms. Krishna already mentions all the different mechanisms you can reach to him, and the easiest of them all is Bhakti Yoga. Maybe to give you how they do it. Again, I'm very bad analogy, but I'm telling you. If you go to some sales people, they'll say, this is one car in the market, this is other car. Oh, by the way, my car does this, and my car will do X, Y, and Z. So, and that's why you should pick my car. So maybe Krishna is saying, giving him all the explanations and also giving Bhakti Yoga, and at the end saying that Bhakti Yoga is the simplest and the easiest mechanism to reach Bhagavan. Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why there is chapter. Because even I'm wondering, I'm in chapter 13 reading my own Bhagavad Gita, and I actually enjoyed the middle chapters, 11 and 12. 11 I thought was wonderful, 12 was very great. But then 13 and 14 are getting into a lot more deeper concepts, sometimes metaphysical. So I was wondering why the discussion shifted there. So even I have this question. So that's it. Yeah.
Good. Shashank?
Maybe because after like the last part should be when you present like was the example given for a car, right? So when you say that, okay, this car does this, but in the end, your intellect should be good enough to pick the right one, which is most applicable for your use, not for like the car with the most loaded feature, the best, but the one which is best for you, best for your budget. If you are a heavy commuter, you would look more for mileage on gas rather than more of comfy features, or you wouldn't mind having, you losing a TV screen in the car rather than getting more mileage. So in the end, Jnana Yoga would basically, as per my thinking, would enable one after reading the entire Bhagavad Gita, that, okay, whatever was taught to you as part of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, now your intellect has to be good enough to pick the one, the path and the procedure which will most benefit you and will help you attain your spiritual goals.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, all are valid points. So the reason why Krishna teaches Jnana Yoga from chapter 13 to 18 is, so no doubt, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga of all. But while performing Bhakti Yoga, we still have to live in this material world, right? So Krishna teaches Jnana Yoga in chapter 13 to 18 to help us understand how this material world works and how to live in the material world, and eventually how to get out of the material world. So we are still living in the material world, right? So Krishna teaches how to live in the material world. Because you need to know how to live in the material world. We all think that, yes, it is an automatic process. We can live all by ourselves. Hare Krishna. So there is nothing to be learnt about it, but there is a science to it. Unless we know how to live in the material world efficiently, will not be happy. So Krishna teaches how to live in the material world happily, and also how to get out of the material world. So how to deal with this nature, how to deal with Maya, and how to get rid of Maya. So now when we are practicing this, when we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, we need to know, right, how we are progressing, whether we are advancing or not, how we are doing. We need to do some checks. So that is chapter 16. Chapter 16 helps us measure our progress on the path of Bhakti Yoga, how we are progressing. As they say, right, if we are not progressing forward, that means you are progressing backward. You're going backward. So chapter 16 helps us to figure out, to assess how we are progressing on the path of Bhakti Yoga. As the chapter title says, divine and demoniac natures. So how do we measure? How do we measure our progress on the path of Bhakti Yoga?
Krishna was metrics driven.
Metrics driven. Yeah. That is where it came actually. Yeah. So how do we know how we are progressing on the path of Bhakti Yoga? How do we know? Is there a scale, or is there an app? So the question is, how do we know how we are progressing on the path of Bhakti Yoga? Are we advancing or going backward, or we are not doing at all?
Is there a qualitative metrics or quantitative metrics or what?
Both. Yeah.
So Krishna has quantitative metrics also.
Yeah.
Like, is it just Krishna?
Like quantitative could be like, in the past year I got angry every day. This
Yeah.
year I'm getting angry only once a week.
Yeah. So in the past, I used to come only on Sundays. Now I'm going on Friday and Sunday.
I think how much of your time is being given to Krishna?
That is in terms of quantitative metrics, right? Yes, very good. Yeah, excellent. We discussed, right? Time is the biggest sacrifice that anybody can do. So someone can sacrifice all of their wealth and they can get back. Someone can sacrifice anything else, but they can get back. But the only thing that they cannot get back is time. So time is the biggest sacrifice. So in terms of quantitative measurements, yes, time. How much time are we giving to Krishna? And Krishna reciprocates accordingly. In chapter 4, Krishna says, what is the shloka? Basically, Krishna says, I reciprocate to the extent my devotees show love towards me. If we show 5% love towards Krishna, he reciprocates to that extent. If we show 10% love, Krishna reciprocates according to that. So what is the shloka, Prabhu? Where Krishna says, I reciprocate according to my devotees.
So one is Yedamam.
Yeah, Yedamam tam tateva bhajahum mama vartamanu vartante. No. Yeah, Etamam prapadyante, right? Yeah, Etamam prapadyante. Correct. Yeah, Etamam prapadyante. So I reciprocate according to my devotees' devotional service. Yeah. So Radharaman Prabhu, yeah, you had something?
Yeah, I wanted to say this is a good question. How do we know that we are actually trending in the right direction? I was listening to a video from my Gurudev. One of the things he mentioned is about how it is, it is gradual, right? So once you develop Shraddha, you also develop the interest in Sadhu Sangha, and you also develop interest in serving Bhagavatam and other scriptures. You're listening to Krishna Katha often. And these all gradually develop in you. And so you start doing it without actually knowing sometimes. And you actually develop sweetness in that. So that is also a very good indication that you are on the path of devotion. And the other thing, if you read listen to the bhajans from our Acharya Varga, there's always the repentance that, I'm a very sinful person. I have sinful dispositions. And so they're all lamenting, right? So I think, and of course, they are the highest Vaishnavas. We can aspire to them as an example. So that's another example, is that you start seeing flaws within you. For example, wanting to get the new car, wanting to buy a new home, wanting to get new pair of shoes, whatever that is, right? And you'll say that, okay, my interest is towards material things, not towards spirituality. So you develop that lamentation as well, because then you're keenly aware of your flaws in spiritual sense. I think that's another symptom that you're developing as a devotee.
Yeah. So if our enjoyment propensity reduces,
Material desires.
material desires reduce, and our enjoying propensity reduces, that means our attachment to Krishna is increasing. Okay, that's another way to measure. Okay. Anything else? Anyone?
I mean, the level of remembering that, or even if it is coming in our dreams, or the level, even when we are meditating or chanting, the level of
Smarana.
The level of concentration with which we are doing it also gives qualitative measure of how much we are devoted. And then doing everything, like maybe cooking, maybe like we are talking to some relative or someone came, or whatever is happening. In the back of our mind, if we are always remembering Krishna, or even when we are imagining scenarios, or even when we are doing something, we are bringing Krishna into it somehow, then it shows the qualitative measure of how much we are associated with him.
Very good. That's a good point. So how much are we remembering Krishna? Now the smarana. How much are we remembering Krishna, and with what attention are we remembering him?
Another could be how much you inspire others towards Krishna. Basically, increasing your strength, or maybe bench strength, or people making other people to, because everybody is suffering, right? Krishna, everybody is suffering. That's why we are here. So how much we are inspiring others to come out of this medical world and go towards attain Krishna's love. It could be 1%, could be 2%. But also one of the key metrics that you are into it because you believe that. So unless you believe or you indulge yourself 100%, you can't inspire anybody. Because when you go try to inspire somebody, there are hundreds of questions, thousands of questions. Attack in a different direction. So you have to take that in a positive way, and that's where you can inspire somebody else, maybe 1% or 2%, into the path of Krishna or path of serving God.
And they both are examples here. They both are examples. How many people they have inspired? The Friday batch and Sunday batch. Look at them. So Tuesday. Tuesday batch and Thursday batch. Thursday batch. Wow. No, not here. But they are coming to temple to do service.
Another measure, I think, as you listen to some Krishna Katha, Krishna stories or pastimes, or whatever, you might have heard it or listened to it multiple times, but still every time you listen to it again, you feel like the same level of excitement or even more every time you listen. It's probably, I feel like, we all know Mahabharata, we all know everything, but everything we hear from you or from any other devotee, that we feel even more excited.
Very good. You were saying something?
This is a comic one. I heard it somewhere.
We need that.
So when you are practicing the Bhakti Yoga, when you are practicing devotee, and your materialistic engagements and other stuff, when it starts falling out, when you know that your association with those people were so much, and suddenly you have not changed, or whatever, that you are doing what you are doing and practicing your stuff, but those friends will be like, oh, the pagal ho gayi hai, gone mad. I don't know what she is doing. Oh, let's not call her for the party. Then you know that you are progressing.
And people start calling you, you become crazy. That is a sign
that you are actually progressing.
So how do you guys become crazy? That's the question.
We don't become crazy.
In their eyes,
They think we are
They
crazy.
think we are crazy. Right.
So no.
If we go to temple regularly,
No,
if
no,
we,
no. If there is more than one person thinking like that, then definitely the problem is not with them. I feel whenever like somebody questions me, like one person questioning me, right? I agree, right? But that person is questioning me. Now another person also questions me.
No, it's like Galileo, right? When he said the earth was flat, everybody was questioning him, but he was right? Like,
He may be right. You have to prove the point, right? You are right. If you don't prove the point, you are right.
the point is that they're obviously blissed
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
They're like very happy. They're not like crazy. They know that.
Oh, no.
No,
See, what I'm feeling is, see, you may feel like they are happy. You may also feel like, even like you are happy, right? The point is, they are feeling that you are wrong. You have to prove your point.
no, the fact is, we also think they are crazy. It's not
Then
that
there is
they
no
are only
difference.
thinking
Then there is
we
no
are
difference.
crazy.
I feel then there is no
We
difference.
also think they are crazy.
I think
No, no.
if we
But,
have to call
but the
out
point is,
No.
we don't understand they're crazy, they don't understand.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, when we are debating like this, like if I feel like you guys are crazy, you feel like I'm crazy, then there is no like spreading things. Like there will be no knowledge.
Religion to spread the love.
You have to-
So they
you have to
are
spread the love.
they are
This is
crazy
not
about
just-
the reason why we think they are crazy is we think that they are crazy about temporary happiness. And
Oh,
we are
that's not true.
crazy
we
about
also-
permanent happiness.
We also need happiness. Everybody needs happiness. I know that. The moment if the money is gone, the God is gone, they are running into something else. They are quarreling. They will have a lot of problems.
So what do you mean by God is gone?
So the thing is, if you have lot, for example, if you have little or lot,
Yeah.
then there is craziness happening in your life because you have lot now, and you have even little, the craziness happening in your life. अभी क्या करेगा? अरे यार ये लेगा, अभी क्या करेगा? अभी क्या करेगा? And then you start quarreling, fighting, maybe like the emotions go high. And then you think like we have to do something. We have to go to God. We have to show culture to our kids. We have to now set. We have to be calm. You go towards God. Now the moment you leave God, like for example, the moment you think like, oh my God, we are going too deep into it. Oh my God, our kids are not talking to us because of this. Oh my God, the society is not accepting us. Then you start again quarreling. Then there is again division. There is again, then you are like, if you're falling down, if you feel like you're falling down, again there is no God there. Then you are trying to get something. So my question is, if we start telling they are wrong, if we start telling they are telling we are wrong, we have to have some line, some balance to tell our answer that no, we are not crazy. What we are doing is this. We understand this. And if they come back to us saying that no, but we don't like this, then you can answer it in a right way and try to.
Yeah, this is the right way.
bring-
They are after the temporary happiness, and we are after permanent happiness. It doesn't mean we are all realized souls and we have achieved bliss. We are experiencing bliss, but we are trying to. That's our goal. Their goal is to achieve temporary happiness, but our goal is to achieve permanent happiness. The goal is different.
I think Mataji's point is like the association will change by design. Like
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
So
that.
because your earlier association was because you had similar values, right? That's how association was. Like, hey, I like this kind of movie, so I just bond with you, right? And
That being said, also Prabhu, association will change. That is true.
Yeah.
Also, what if your question is how do you define who's crazy and who's not? I think the basis of the understanding of a general materialist and the basis of the understanding of a spiritualist is the difference is that we are backed by the scriptures, and the basic understanding of the materialist is backed by the sense enjoyments.
And sometimes
That's the major
perverted
difference.
reflection of the scriptures. They
Yeah.
take whatever is context, take it out of context and say, oh, so Veda says you can eat non-veg, so I'll eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
those
that's the
kind of-
topic of chapter 16.
So yeah, so
Oh,
when you have the
yeah.
backing.
So
is different.
now the whole thing changes.
So the backing is different. So when the backing is different and you're following a certain path backed by a scripture, backed by all the shastras and all those, then your feeling and everything is different. And when it's different from the general materialist. a person who's into materialist, sense enjoyment, into stuff like those people will start thinking that we are crazy. And they will think it. I mean, it's not.
You should not feel bad about it. I tell you.
No,
I tell
You
you.
don't feel bad.
You should not feel bad. And second thing, you should not say they are crazy. So the
No,
moment
no,
you say,
actually, I'm not saying they are crazy.
I'm not saying-
We are saying the other way.
When
We are
they-
saying
when they
they should
start-
say
When
something
they
that
start
we are
saying you're
crazy.
crazy, then you can
Feel that we are
that
crazy.
you are
should
taking
feel,
We feel good about it. We feel good about it. When they say we are crazy,
that's absolutely right. But we should never say they are crazy.
We
You know, the moment you
Because
find
we,
them,
no, we were in the
No,
also
it's a
in the same mode. No, we were also
in the
a part
same
of they only. Now we have become basically the fighting.
I agree to this.
When
I will not agree
She
to that.
was quoting as a measure, right? The moment you start.
When I said
That's a
I
measure.
offended you, but then the point I said was exactly that. When your friends will start saying that they will start telling me that I'm crazy, me trying to follow the Bhakti Yoga. That's when we feel happy about it. Okay, then you know that you are a good progressive.
You're making progress.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they said.
and
And
that's the
also-
topic of, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And also, once they see that we are happy, actually happy, rather than when we are watching a movie or doing something, rather than generally happy, people are attracted to natural happiness.
Yes.
And that is how they, when you are too much attracted to sensual happiness, right? There'll be the point where you start falling down because if senses
Because the
are
objects
based
will
on
be taken away.
sex,
The sense
yeah,
objects will be taken away.
taken away. So you are with a person and that person changes and leaves you and you'll start feeling sad. Or there might be you wanted to go for an interview or a job and you failed. So the sensual happinesses will lead to a certain level of falling out or sadness. Whereas this type of happiness gives you a consistent and contentment and happiness, which stays like that all throughout its course. So when they start, you ask how do we tell people, other people, when they think we are crazy, right? So when they start seeing that, okay, I'm getting sad every time when something falls out or something doesn't go my way. And we as a people, when we are seeking, when our connection is higher, even though the same things happen to us, we have better tolerance, better response instead of reacting to it, anger-wise or sadness-wise or depression-wise, whatever you take it. So when they start seeing the better results, better coping mechanisms, they start joining this association. And that's how most of us actually
Exactly.
realized it and started going into the association because we are very top that.
Anything, but you don't have to say that, yeah, we are doing this, but automatically the way, as they see, as she said, like when they see it, they know it and. that's
Yeah,
it.
they'll start following.
And it's, to some extent, it's,
I agree to that.
to some extent,
Because
it's
the
not
more
also.
you go into this bhakti and all, it gives you strength to
Yeah.
fight to all.
You can
the-
find happiness within.
Yeah, to fight to all the situations.
You can find happiness within.
And with this, we can also attract others also to see what we are doing.
Yeah.
And what they, but my point here was not to tell that they are crazy.
Yeah.
We can. We don't have to give up on anyone. right?
Exactly. We want everybody
Yes.
to follow the same path.
Yeah.
When I even quoted the example, when I exactly said the same thing, that when your friends start feeling that you are crazy.
You should not talk
Yeah,
about it.
it's not-
I mean, that's done. Because the thing is, the moment you say that, there's a wrong reflection on you when you start telling that. There should be always a right reflection to bring everybody together, right? So that's what I felt. Anyways. we can
Yeah.
continue.
So, and as Rajesh Prabhu said, right, that's the point of the 16th chapter, how to, so what exactly you said?
So we just take from Vedas.
Yeah.
Take some focus, whatever for our convenience, take
Yes.
some context and say, oh yeah, Vedas says this.
Correct.
So, I was listening to one of the lectures from thing, and it seems in Vedas, it says like you can eat non-veg. But there are certain rules, like especially when you cannot live without it or something like that.
Yeah, there's a
And then-
procedure, how you can
Yeah.
perform, the bali, and then you have to say some prayers.
And you have to look the animal in the eye.
Into the
and
eyes.
talk and,
Yeah.
So we just take that out of context. It's like, the example that Acharya was giving was, it's like, you have in mathematics, let's say you're learning, there are a lot of things. You learn like 2 + 2, like a simple arithmetic to like calculus. Obviously, when some small kid is there, like, you cannot teach him or her, calculus, right?
Yeah.
You have to teach with some basic arithmetic.
Yeah.
You can consider this bully or eating non-veg or whatever is, you can think of it's like, simple things that where they can come out of it.
Yeah.
But as we progress, your goal is to progress further, right? You cannot just say, oh no, I will just stick to this and I'll only keep doing whatever this says. But the goal is to kind of progress to the next level.
Yeah.
And and even the Vedas, when it says that you can eat non-veg, if you do all the procedures, automatically a change happens in your thing, because you have to look the animal in the eye, and it seems you have to say a shloka.
Yeah, it's a purification process. It's a purification process, and the transformation happens
And the
after
shloka
you
is
do
very
that for
important.
10 times, 20 times. Yeah.
So in the Vedas, it is written that killing is okay.
No, eating that non-veg, if you want to eat non-veg, you have to follow certain procedure, and you have to say this mantra. That mantra roughly translates like this. It says that you can eat, so
Like in this life, I'm killing you.
killing you.
In the next life,
Yeah.
I'll become an animal, you will become a human, and you will be killing me.
And then you look the animal in
in
the eye.
that way, his desire
Will go away.
Will go away. Yes.
for the non-vegetarian.
Yeah, but they don't look at all those things. They say, oh, Veda says non-veg is okay. so
It's
they
bona
don't-
fide. You can eat.
And
Yeah.
also it's allowed only for certain
Exceptional
people.
conditions.
Yeah. Only certain
Kshatriyas
Kshatriyas and that I think are soldiers. Right?
who go for war, they can't
Grow
find any
food and-
food in the jungle when the war goes for multiple days or multiple months. Then they survive. They should survive themselves. That's why they can hunt and eat at that point to sustain them. That's what is there.
I mean, even that is wrong. But
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
Exceptional conditions.
I'm not there.
So chapter 16, there is a shloka. Tasma shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavastitau jnatva shastram vidanoktam. So Krishna tells everybody must learn what is duty and what is not duty. Tasma shastram pramanam te karya akarya. Karya is duty, akarya is non-duty. In other words, what is the right thing to do and what is a wrong thing to do. So one should learn from scriptures and regulate their life in that way. But as Rajesh Prabhu said, right, even the Shastra, people have interpreted in a different way, according to, as per their convenience and their comfort, they have interpreted in a different way. So there is a small story in this context, right? How Shastras can be misinterpreted and misled, how somebody can mislead people. There's a nice story. The story is about the shloka, Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu. How many of you know that verse? Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu.
That's the coffee.
Huh?
Coffee, drinking coffee. Right?
No. You know the shloka? Okay, can you say the shloka?
Shuklam Bharadram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturбhujam Prasannavanam Dhaya Sarvavignopasamukam.
Okay. So what is this shloka about?
That's the first thing
Which personality is this shloka describing?
actually Ganapati.
Okay, Ganapati, you're saying Vishnu. Okay. Anyone else?
No, I will.
I think
Hmm?
Vishnu it said, but
Yeah.
but we read that to Ganapati first.
Okay. It's good that we have two understandings here. That is the whole point of this story and this shloka. So I like it when you have two different parties. that proves the concept of this shloka and the story. So long time ago in Ujjain, there was a king. He was a very pious king, and he respects Shastras very much. He had a lot of Raja Purohits in his assembly. And whatever he does, he used to take consultation, advice from these Raja Purohits. He will not do anything against Shastras. But on the contrary, his son, the king's son, is a fool. He's not learned and he's a fool. He does not respect Shastras. As they say, right? Pandita Putra Paramashunta. Sometimes it happens. Pandita Putra Paramashunta. The son of a learned person can be a fool. So this son, he never respected Shastras. And after a while, the king, the father, he passes away. And then naturally this son, he takes the throne. But since he does not respect Shastras and the Brahmins, he was not ruling the kingdom very nicely. And whenever the Raja Purohits tell him that, oh Raja, today we are having a discussion on Bhagavatam, please join us. He never used to come there. And whenever a visitor Brahmana comes to that kingdom to give some discourses, the Raja Purohits inform the king saying that some visitor Brahmana came. He's a very learned scholar. He came to give some discourse on so-and-so topic. Please come and join. And this king used to reject that and say that, no, I don't have time. From my side, just give him some 10 paisa and send him away. So looking at all this, one day, one Brahman, he's actually a crooked person. One Brahman, he comes to this kingdom. And then he talks to the Raja Purohits and tells them that I would like to meet the king. And they all tell them that tell this visitor that yes, you can meet the king. He's just newly crowned prince. He has a lot of time. You can go and meet him anytime. But be aware, he does not respect Shastra. He does not respect Brahmins. Be prepared and go and meet him. And then this visitor tells, yes, I would like to go and meet him. Then the Raja Purohits tell him that, yes, tomorrow there is an assembly where all the Raja Purohits will be there and the king will be there. You can come and meet Raja. But this visitor cleverly says, no, I would like to meet the king in private. I'm not going to meet him when there are other Raja Purohits. Then they arrange for that meeting, private meeting with the king. Then this visitor asks the king, "Oh king, how is everything going on in this kingdom?" The king says, "Yes, everything is going on well. Do you have some Brahmins in your assembly?" "Yes, I have good Brahmins in my assembly. My dad has chosen good Brahmins. I believe so. I believe we have good Brahmins." And then this visitor asks a question. So what do they recite every day in the morning? Then the king says, all the Raja Purohits, they start singing with Shuklambaradaram Vishnu. Okay. So the complete shloka is Shuklambaradaram Vishnu, Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam, Prasannavadanam Dhyaye, Sarva Vignyopa Shantaye. Okay. Then the visitor asks, "Oh Maharaj, what is the meaning of this shloka?" Then the king says, it's all about Vishnu. And then this crooked person, he says, no, Maharaj, it is not Vishnu. All the Raja Purohits have fooled you. It is not correct. Do you want to know the confidential and the real meaning of this shloka? The king becomes curious. Oh yeah, certainly. I would like to know the actual meaning of this. Please tell me. Then this visitor says, Maharaj, the meaning of this shloka is 1 rupee coin. And the king is surprised. 1 rupee coin? How? Shuklambaradaram Vishnu shloka? How it is 1 rupee coin? Then this visitor explains. So what does the shloka say? Shuklambaradaram. Shuklambaradaram, that is the first part, right? Okay, now before this, let's try to understand the actual meaning of Shuklambaradaram Vishnu shloka. So Shuklambaradaram means
White,
one who dresses up in white or brilliant clothes. Shuklambaradaram Vishnu. Vishnu means all pervading. The Sanskrit word Vishnu means all pervading. Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu Shashivarnam. Shashivarnam means one whose face is like moon. Okay, one whose face is like moon. Shashivarnam Chaturpujam, one who has 4 hands. Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam, one who has a beautiful, smiling, happy face. Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet. So you meditate upon that Vishnu. Sarva Vignopa Shantaye. All your obstacles will be removed. That is the actual meaning of the shloka. Okay. Now this visitor tells the actual meaning of the shloka is 1 rupee coin. You know how?
He satisfied all this condition.
And he gives a word by word translation, explaining how this shloka is. The meaning of this shloka is 1 rupee coin. He says, Shuklam Baradaram. O Raja, in your village, where do all the men keep the coins? In their white cloth, right? They tie in the dhoti or kurta. Okay, that is Shuklam Baradaram. Vishnu, all pervading. The 1 rupee coin is with you today. It will be with me tomorrow. And the same coin, it will go to a different state next month. And from there, it will travel to another state. And from there, it will travel all over the world. Vishnu, all pervading. Okay. Shuklam Baradaram, Vishnu, Shashivarnam. It is so bright and brilliant, just like the moon face. Okay. And Shuklam Baradaram, Vishnu, Shashivarnam, Chaturbhujam. In Sanskrit, Chaturbhujam, Chatur means 4. It can also mean intelligent. Chatur can also mean intelligent. So intelligent means intelligent people. Bhujam means they eat. Chatur Bhujam, intelligent people eat. I mean, they earn. Intelligent people earn the coins. Eat means it's a metaphor. It's not a literary meaning. It's a metaphor. They earn the income. Intelligent people earn the income. Chatur Bhujam. Prasanna Vadanam. Raja, when you look at the 1 rupee coin, don't you feel happy? Prasanna Vadanam. Dhyayet. Oh Raja, meditate upon 1 rupee coin. Sarva Vignopa Shantaye. All your obstacles will be removed.
School is good. So I have one more story on the same shloka I heard from some other.
Okay, 1 second. Let me complete this, then you will tell. Then the king says, okay, so that means all these Rajapurohits, they have fooled me and my father also. And then this visitor, the king asks, okay, so would you like to become my Rajapurohit? I'm going to send all the Rajapurohits away, and would you like to be here and become Rajapurohit? The visitor, he's a crooked person, right? His goal is to make some money and then go away. He says, no, Raja, I'm not interested in any position. If you want to give some money, you give me. Otherwise, that's okay. Then the king gives him some money and then he goes away. That is his purpose. His purpose is achieved and then he goes away. Then after that, the king sends all the Rajapurohits away. And then, no. So the next day morning, when all the Rajapurohits come in the assembly, they start singing Shuklam, Baradaram, Vishnu, Shashivarnam. Then the king says, okay, wait. So tell me, what is the meaning of this shloka? Then everybody says Vishnu. Okay. So you all have been fooling me and my dad all this while. Now I'm going to send you all away and I'm going to punish you all until you all tell me how the real meaning of this shloka. And then the Rajapurohits ask, Raja, this is the real meaning of the shloka. It is Vishnu all pervading. Then king says, no, the actual meaning of this shloka is 1 rupee coin. Now I'm not going to let you inside the assembly unless you tell me how this shloka means 1 rupee coin. Then all the Rajapurohits, they go away. And then after a few days, another visitor comes. He is a nice person. And then the Rajapurohits, as usually, they warn this visitor saying that he does not respect Purohits and he does not respect Shastra. But he's a nice person. He comes with a nice agenda. He says, yes, that's okay. I would like to meet the king. And then he comes. And then he asks the same question. The same story repeats, do you have Rajapurohits in your home? How is the kingdom going on? What are they teaching? What are they reciting every day? And then this new visitor asks, so what is the meaning of Shuklambardaram Vishnu? The king says 1 rupee coin. Okay. And then this new visitor says, no, it is not 1 rupee coin. It is dahi vada. It is dahi vada. Kishori, do you know what is dahi vada? No? It's a donut dipped in yogurt.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a donut.
Spicy, but not
Spicy donut. Okay. He says dahi vada. And then the king says, dahi vada? Tell me how it is dahi vada. And then he says, Shuklam Baradaram. Isn't the dahi is very brilliant and white? The king says, yes. Shuklam Baradaram. Vishnu. It's all pervading. The dahi vada is everywhere. It is in your mouth, in my mouth. It is in everyone's mouth. All pervading. Vishnu. Shashivarnam. It has a moon-like face. Shashivarnam. Chaturbhujam. Chaturbhujam.
All intelligent people eat this.
No. He quotes, anyway, he gives some meaning to Chaturbhujam here. Bhuja means eating, right? Chaturbhujam means maybe he interpreted that people would like to eat with 4 hands, not only just 2 hands, but they would like to eat with 4 hands. They would like to eat more, like with 4 hands. Prasanna Vadaram. After eating dahi vada, what happens? You feel happy. Dhyayate. Oh Raja, meditate upon dahi vada. Sarva Vignyopa Shantaye. After you eat dahi vada, all your obstacles will be removed. Now, after hearing this, the king realizes, oh, is this the real meaning of Shuklam Baradaram? That means the previous visitor, he also fooled me. Now he asks, would you like to become my Rajapandit? And he says, he agrees. This person agrees because he came with a nice agenda. But he says, yes, I will become Rajapurohit, but only on 1 condition. 2 conditions. One is, you have to revive the position of all the Rajapurohits. You have to bring them back into the assembly. And second condition is, you have to learn the Sanskrit grammar and Vakaran from me, and every day learn Bhagavatam from me. The king agrees. And then this visitor Purohit, he starts teaching the Sanskrit grammar and Vakaran, and then also Bhagavatam. And then after a few months, he realizes that the actual meaning of Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu means Vishnu actually. So this story explains how people can create concocted meaning out of Shastras for their own comfort and convenience. And there are different types of understandings in the society. Everybody thinks whatever they know is correct. And whatever they are doing is the right thing. So there are different meanings and different understandings in the society. But for everything, Shastra is the praman. Tasmat Shastram pramanam te karya vyavastitau. Jnatva Shastram vidhanoktam. So by knowing Shastra, one has to discriminate between the good thing and bad thing, what is duty, what is not duty, and then regulate their life according to the Shastras. So, yeah. Now, what is the story that you...
It's not similar to that. It's not a story, like how they misinterpret or like how they use it for their own convenience. It's like people have this habit of drinking coffee in the morning as soon as they get up. Otherwise, they get up very groggy and they want to have something, right? Like coffee, especially coffee.
Yeah.
So Shuklam Baradaram is like milk. Shukla is milk, white.
Yeah.
Baradaram, Vishnu, Shashivarnam, it's like everywhere. Coffee is available everywhere.
Everyone's home, yeah.
And then, Shashivarnam, moon-faced decoction, nice filter coffee. It looks like a moon. Then Chaturbhujam means 4 hands. Like 4 hands means like a wife is getting the coffee like this. She's doing all this. She has 2 hands, and the husband
person who is taking
2 hands. So Chaturbhujam.
Yeah.
Then drinks. Then Prasanna. Then after drinking, is becoming groggy because very nice, and so that's a similar thing.
Yeah. Meditate upon coffee. And all your obstacles will be removed.
So many things.
Starbucks should use it.
Starbucks should use it. Meditate upon coffee. Yeah. Now here is the real proof, right? See, what I told and what Rajesh told is in the story. But here is a real proof. There are two people who say that the shloka meaning is Ganapati. And Rajesh said it is Vishnu. So here itself we have a proof that different people have different understanding. Even in my childhood, I have been hearing Shuklam Bradaram means Ganapati only.
Usually they start with Ganpati Puja and they start with this shloka.
With this shloka. Yeah.
Everybody thinks like this is for Ganpati.
This is for Ganapati. Yeah. Yeah.
One meaning is correct, the others are not.
Yeah. Yeah, only one meaning is correct. Yeah.
You can interpret it differently
Okay.
based on your understanding, but your understanding is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conclusion of all this is that our mind can just create so many, things that is for our mind, right?
For your purpose.
But
For your purpose.
once you find,
For your convenience, basically. For example, somebody who likes coffee,
yeah.
they can come up with this meaning. Somebody who likes dahi vada, they can come up with that meaning.
That meaning. But the real purpose is
At least for every human being has some level of understanding. If I want to read Bhagavad Gita, I have my own understanding.
Yeah.
But if I follow somebody like you, so you have your own version.
Mhm.
You have your own interpretation of that.
Yeah.
That in the whole world.
Yeah.
Talking about only Indian population, everybody will follow as their guru.
Yeah.
So somebody has X, somebody has Y. And X and Y, they have created their own meaning to these interpretations, to these slokas and to this Veda literature. Right?
Yeah.
So how can one can realize which is the right? For example, as Vishwari Mataji said, you said something, I believe it.
Yeah.
Or I follow you.
Yeah.
And X said something. So how can somebody can enlighten?
Yeah.
Which is the right one?
Yeah.
So
Very
for
good.
us, as you said, I think I had the same question way back. But you said since Prabhupada ji has written through translation.
Yeah.
So I believe it. The moment I started reading it, I might get attached to it. I might get more meaning, make sense out of it.
Yeah.
Open YouTube channel. Everybody has their own Bhagavad Gita channels. Subscribe and everything. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And some whoever based on his mind or based on his convenience, one sloka might have been attracted him.
Yeah.
Because it fits his day-to-day convenience.
Yeah.
So he just followed blindly that.
Yeah.
How can one can educate them that
Yeah.
this is the right one?
Yeah. Very good. Very good question.
So, Prabhu, one question maybe same related to this one.
Yeah.
This question maybe is like, how do we find the right guru?
Yeah.
Same in similar context. like
Yes.
How we find the right guru?
How do you know which Shastra is
Which
correct?
Shastra,
How do you know which Guru is
is
genuine?
genuine?
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Good questions. So, we discussed this already in the previous classes, like why Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is,
As it is.
why it is the only most, yes, why it is the only genuine version. So Mahi said, Anubhava, Praman. There are three Pramans, right? To learn anything, to acquire any knowledge, there are three different methods. One is before that, Anumana Praman, and then Pratyaksha Praman. Anumana Praman, Pratyaksha Praman, Shabda Praman. So what is Anumana Praman? So basically there are three different ways to acquire knowledge. Okay, if you want to know about anything, there are three different ways how you can acquire knowledge about that. One is Anumana Praman, like through speculation. Like what scientists do, right? They start with something and then they speculate and then they come up with something else. So speculative knowledge, okay? And then Pratyaksha Praman. Pratyaksha Praman is you see something or you experience something by yourself and then you learn about it. For example, you touch fire and then you learn that, okay, touching fire can cause harm and it is hot. You should never touch it again. So that is one way of learning. But the best way of learning is through Shabda Praman. You hear from authority. You hear from authority. But now the question is, how do we know if that authority itself is bona fide or not. The so-called authority, whoever you are following, the Shastra or Guru, whoever we have acknowledged as the authority, what is the guarantee that they are the bona fide ones? What is the guarantee that they are the proper authority?
Because they are part.
They are part of parampara. Yeah, but how do we know that parampara itself is genuine? Yeah, before coming to ISKCON, I also practiced something else, and I used to think that is parampara. That person came from some parampara, but later I came to know that he's an idiot. So as Mahi said, Anubhav Prama.
Yeah, I think experience is
Experience.
Right?
Yeah.
When you experience and see these results are bad, or this is I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then you try something else, and now you feel good about it, and then you feel like I feel this authentic.
Yeah.
You keep experiencing. Finally, you will find like, and what honest I feel is like, if you believe in God, and if you believe in this God, and then all what you're doing to achieve that God will take you to that God. And then whatever you are learning, good or bad, you will get experience that's not taking to me to that God.
Yeah.
So that's wrong. You will get it through experience. But that's what I feel.
So the Paramatma from within, he will guide you.
Exactly.
If you have a sincere desire to seek this knowledge. In Bible also it is mentioned, right? Seek and you shall find. So if you seek with sincerity, you'll definitely find the right source and right guru. So, and over a period of time, within few months or within couple of years, you will know from the results that you are experiencing and from others' experiences, you will be able to find out whether that person is genuine guru or not, the Shastra is genuine or not. We'll be able to find out.
You should focus towards the God. Because if you focus towards Guru,
Prabhu,
then I think
can you give me charger?
you're diverging. You're trying to find answers from that Guru. Focus more towards like what you're learning, towards attending the God.
Yeah. No, I put this question because it relates to that question. So I'm not focusing on Guru. I'm just relating that question because sometimes people have the same question, like how to get the right Guru in your life. Because
So it is like GPS.
and Shastras, you should have Guru.
Yeah.
So now finding the right Guru is also a big question for us.
Yeah. So just like when you start using GPS in your life for the first time. So how do? You enter the address, Mount Rainier. Okay, from your home, you want to go to Mount Rainier. And then, so after driving for 5-10 minutes, you want to see, whether this GPS is really taking you to Mount Rainier or somewhere else. Then you will see on the exit board, on the green board, you will see exit 195th Street or something. And your GPS is also showing the same thing. So it's matching. That means you get some more confidence on GPS. And then you keep driving furthermore. After 10 more minutes, you will see 212th Street. GPS is also showing the same thing. It's matching again. Your confidence is built up even more.
So we need to have a group positioning system. GPS.
Guru positioning system. Yes. And also, actually, that's a good point. There is a three-way reference triangle. Okay. To know if the Shastra is correct, to know if the Guru is correct or not, there is a three-way reference point. The elements in this triangle are Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. Guru is the one who teaches the Shastra, and Shastra is the knowledge given by God Himself. And Sadhu is the one who is practicing what is given in the Shastras. So when you look at the teachings of the Guru, and when you look at the life of a Sadhu, if that life of a Sadhu is in alignment with the Shastra, and if the teachings of the Guru are in alignment with the Shastra, then that completes the reference frame. Yeah, so it's a three-way of checking the authenticity of Guru and Shastra. Sadhu. Sadhu can be a living person who is practicing the Bhakti Yoga, or it can be the previous acharyas, like Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
A devotee, right? Sadhu could be devotee.
Yeah, devotees who are currently practicing
Or have practiced in the past.
have practiced in the past. Yeah. So sadhu's life, or whatever sadhu is practicing, it should be in alignment with the scriptures. If the sadhu is practicing something else, like for example, meditation, okay, which is not in recommendation or in alignment with what Krishna is teaching.
Chapter 6 is that.
So whatever sadhu is practicing should be in accordance with the scriptures, and whatever guru is teaching should be in accordance with these both, with Shastra and with sadhu.
Yeah.
How does the guru and sadhu connect? Yeah. Yeah. Like for example, let's say Abhishek, he joined today, right? Now he's hearing from Shastra. Okay, he's hearing Shastra from Srila Prabhupada. So there is Guru and there is Shastra, and you are all sadhus. So he is observing what you are all practicing. If you are all practicing is not in alignment with what Srila Prabhupada is teaching, or if it is not in alignment with what is given in Bhagavad Gita, then he will not have faith. He will not have faith in Shastra and Guru.
Basically, is it more than sadhu? It's sangha.
Yeah, sadhu is like
Or is it like both things? Actually, I think
Sadhu Sangha.
it's more. I think it's also like historically we've seen there are so many acharyas. Like they sometimes you can see that even whether it is Khanji or like very elevated acharyas we have had, Ravidas ji or Bhaktivendanta Thakur, and like in our Gaudiya Parampara we have they'll align obviously because they are following the same.
Yeah,
But even if you see
their
their
anything, right? Anybody.
yeah, even their teachings will match. So you can see that okay, the teachings are fine. There is nothing wrong with the teaching. You can see that maybe there are certain differences between the practices, but the essence will be same.
Yeah. So for example, I'll give an example. In Tukaram's life, we discussed this story, right? In Tukaram's life, there was an incident where one day his wife asks him to go into the market and fetch some money so that she can fetch some money and then buy some groceries so she can cook. So Tukaram goes out, he does some hard work, fetches some money. But when he's coming back home, on the way, he meets with some people who are in need of something, some food or something. So he spends that money giving some vegetables or fruits to those needy people. And then in the end, he's left with only 1 paisa or 2 paisa, and then he buys sugar candy, a sugar cane, and then comes home. And then he shows the sugar cane to the wife. Is this what you brought today? How can I cook? We don't have anything to cook today at home. And then she gets very angry, and then she takes that sugar cane and beats him up on his head, on the head of Tukaram. And then the sugar cane becomes in 2 parts. And then Tukaram, he happily gives one piece to the wife, and he takes 1 piece. He tells her, anyway, we have to break it into 2 pieces, 1 for you, 1 for me. It's good that you all cook. So he tolerated that situation. His wife was showing extreme anger. Now imagine somebody has to break sugarcane into 2 pieces. Sugarcane is very hard. Somebody has to break sugarcane into 2 pieces. How hard they have to hit on the head. So Tukaram tolerated that. Now in chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2 and 14 shloka, Krishna says, Tam stitikshasva bharata. one must learn to tolerate. So this saintly person Tukaram is a sadhu, is practicing what is given in the Shastra.
Don't take the example, please.
No.
They're not super keen, don't imagine it.
No, that's not imagining that way, but now he gave it.
Yeah.
Now I think that
Something we have to censor this.
Used to our convenience.
See, that's how the things change.
Yeah.
The moment you start thinking like that.
See, now you know the reason why sugar canes are almost extinct. Just like dinosaurs, sugar canes, especially in America, right?
Yeah.
They're almost extinct. You don't see sugar canes, right?
Weapon of destruction.
Yeah. Weapon of husband destruction. So whatever sadhu is or the devotee is practicing, they should be in alignment with Shastras.
So what is Shastra in alignment? So, for example, Guru is in alignment with the Shastra.
Whatever is given in the Shastra, the Guru has to tell that.
What about Shastra?
Shastra is like God himself.
Bhagavatam is like
Shastra.
No, he has a good question. And that is the first question. That is the actual question he asked, right? What is the check for the Shastra?
Yeah.
In this three, in this triangle of reference, what is the check for Shastra? The check for Guru is Shastra. The check for Guru can also be Sadhu.
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, the check for Shastra can also be Sadhu.
Yeah.
If the life of Sadhu, by following Shastra, is happy and peaceful. Tukaram, he followed Shastra and his life is peaceful. Despite these provoking situations, his life is peaceful. So that is a check for Shastra. Yeah.
No, from the beginning, Shastras are wrong. He followed it. No, Shastras are not wrong. It's verification.
It's a verification. Process of verification.
Shastras committing some certain result, and somebody who practiced it is showing that symptoms of result. Then you can say, okay, yeah, they are.
See, even you can create Shastra, and if I follow and if I feel good, and I'm a
Verification, right?
I'm a good example.
Yeah, like for example, cow dung is antiseptic. That is given in Shastras. Now let's say Sahana brings cow dung and in front of her home in bottle her milk creek, so she puts cow dung there and no mosquitoes come, nothing comes. It's very clean and no flies, no mosquitoes. And then next day when her friends come home, they smell cow dung there and they ask, why did you put cow dung here? And then Sahana tells, oh, it is antiseptic. Don't you know that? You should all put from tomorrow onwards, you should go to Arlington farm and get cow dung and put in front of your homes. And they also do that. They are verifying the results by themselves. So whatever is given in the Shastras, one devotee is practicing, looking at that, other devotees are also practicing that.
I don't know if you will do that.
Maybe I should.
Yeah. Okay. So, chapter 16. So, one key important thing that Krishna teaches in this chapter is how one should accept scriptures as pramana for everything and lead their life. And there is a context why Krishna said that so. If you look at the chapter title, Divine and Demoniac Qualities. So Krishna explains what are the qualities of divinely people and demoniac people. And Krishna also describes what is the mentality of the demoniac people. The demoniac people, they think that there is no there is no creator for this creation. They think that there is no creator for this creation. The creation happened randomly. There's no foundation. The world is not real. There's no foundation for this world. And there's no creator, basically. And they think that they can enjoy the way they want. They can do things the way they want. Krishna gives elaborative description in 3-4 shlokas, the mentality of demoniac people. And then In the end, Krishna tells one should do everything as per the scriptural injunctions. They should not do things whimsically.
Some religions think there is a creator, but they don't think creation is God. They think creator is God, but creation is not God. That, but most of the
Creation is
religions
God's energy.
Yeah, but most of the religions they don't think that way. Right? Like they think creator is there. They
Yeah.
Is that also considered demoniac then, or
Yeah, yes, it is.
because they
Because
believe
if they-
in God, but they don't believe in creation as God.
What is the example they give?
So creator and creation are two different things. Creator has created the creation this world.
Yeah.
But in Hindu Sanatana Dharma, we say creator is also God, creation is also God, right?
Creation is not God. Creation is God's energy. So if you don't treat creation as God's energy, you will exploit this creation. You will exploit the nature. You will exploiting nature means what? That means you want to use the resources in the nature for your own enjoyment. You want more and more. You're not satisfied with whatever you have. Even if you have 10 million, you want 100 million. So that is exploitation. You're not satisfied with what you have. So you'll exploit the nature, and in that process, you'll become distressful. Yeah. And then Krishna also describes the divine qualities. Okay. So when it comes to divine and demoniac qualities, if you look at the 4 yugas, right? Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, the divine people and demoniac people, they lived in different planets. They lived in different planets. Whereas in Treta Yuga, the divine people and demoniac people, they lived in the same planet, but different country. Like Lord Rama in Ayodhya and Ravanasura in Lanka. Different countries. Same planet, but different countries. And 1 yuga later, Dwapara Yuga, same country, but different cities. Mathura and Vrindavan or Dwaraka. Okay. And in Kali Yuga, same city. Same city. So which city is that? The city of 9 gates. The city of 9 gates. That means your own body. The divine and demoniac qualities, they reside in the same body. So you have both good and bad in your body. Basically, mind. Mind is the culprit. If you feed the good dog, then you'll cultivate divine qualities. If you feed the bad dog, you'll cultivate demoniac qualities. Yeah. You can imagine that way, but demoniac people means not necessarily people with 2 horns and fearful face, not necessarily like that. So even a normal looking person in Kali Yuga, even a normal, simple, handsome, beautiful looking person also can be demoniac.
That's why all the movies are coming with the previous old movie villains, and now these new villains are like more sophisticated, more handsome, huh?
Yeah.
Heroes also, right?
Yeah.
No, and
that's
the
why.
heroes doing villain roles of
Yeah.
world, like
Yeah.
Ravanasura or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They are assuming themselves as villains more than heroes are playing the roles of villains of old days.
So face is not the index
Index.
of a person anymore. It's not the index.
The quality that within himself defines
Yeah,
either good or bad.
the behavior.
Behavior.
Yeah, their behavior.
And sometimes devil is always like that. It's always like that.
It's always like that, but how we interpret it by looking at the surroundings or maybe
Because of the social world, and because of this, it has, everybody looks at face value.
Yeah, it is always like that.
Yeah.
But as they
As the
recently, they came up with that, right? Face is the index of a person. Not necessarily true.
face value is important.
Yeah, not necessarily true. Yeah, you were saying something.
So, I mean, when, like you said, now in Kali Yuga, we ourselves are the embodiment of both good and bad.
Mhm.
So when, I mean, So when we come to the previous topic of like creation or like evolution, which one should we believe in?
Yeah.
So like logical by like Newton, right? So we keep I mean when in association or when like even in association, sometimes we question some things because we have learned them scientifically from childhood, like
Yeah.
we are conditioned already. And we question whether, okay, this I have been taught differently. So I mean, creation, there's still no proof,
Mhm.
solid proof, as in like or none of us who are living now has seen it with their eyes.
Yeah.
So whether those kind of questions arise, how do we like we are the demonic qualities are
So the question
actually,
is,
but
do they have a proof?
yeah, do they
Like
have
Big
a-
Bang. Do they
yeah.
have a proof? Can they prove?
I mean, it can be inferred like Anuman Praman, like Anubhav Praman, not Anubhav, Anuman Praman. Maybe
Yeah.
they can infer it to that, looking at the different processes that are happening now.
Yeah.
They can infer that. So,
But still, they cannot prove. Even in their theory, right? Big Bang theory, in the very first paragraph, they say, this Big Bang theory, by the way, it cannot be mathematically proven or scientifically measured.
Not the Big Bang theory. They said initially there was one Big Bang theory. Now they have said there might have many Big Bang theories happened. Every year coming up with again new hypothesis.
Yeah.
But you kids already realized that they are already told that. So you can believe on any man.
I think the problem is that again, when we talk about sadhu movement association, what if those yogis are someone like Sadhguru and they're just talking about things.
So it is very easy to reject Sadhguru because you know what he says? There is no need for any scriptures. Whatever I am telling, you listen. So now in the first 5 minutes itself, he filed that triangle of reference.
No, but see, that is something we can always argue. Like yesterday, they say time, the place and circumstances, maybe he's trying to teach in certain ways.
No.
Just like you guys said, like you talk about believe in all this Vedas or things like that, right? It's just that, it could be that.
No. Buddha is an incarnation of Krishna only.
Correct.
So his purpose was different. The purpose of that incarnation was different. To establish ahimsa. Yeah, because those days the ahimsa was very predominant. So his purpose was to establish ahimsa.
Yeah, but we can say that Sadhguru is trying to say the same thing because people nowadays don't have like time or like thing to sit and read and Veda and all that. Don't do all that. Just listen to the simple things. And he's not saying something bad about it.
He is. Where is the question of he's not saying anything bad? He is.
But somehow methods are attracting completely atheist people.
Yeah.
A little bit into, at least they're becoming agnostic. Like, okay, there may or may not be God, but let us try this method.
See, all the people who are attracted to Sadhguru, you know why they are attracted? Because whatever he speaks, it does not make any sense. Okay, it does not make any sense, and it looks totally new to them. It's totally new to them.
All the things. I mean,
Majority.
So for example, like he talked about this. One example I mean, he talks about why others eat cow and why we should not eat cow. Right. Simple example. So he gives like cow as an emotion, right? The moment so for example, you have a cow here. You drink milk from that, right? And you have mother who has given birth to you. You also drink milk from your mother. Will you eat your mother? Why you eat cow? And then the second thing he says that anything which has emotion, for example, like cow has an emotion. For example, cow, if you are in problem or if you go into an accident or something, the first thing will be cow will be coming to your door no matter what happens, if it is near you, and it will cry. You can see the tears in cow's eyes. I mean, I have seen so many times, tears in cow's eyes. So anything which has emotion, you should not kill. So he has a very logical answer. I don't disagree everything what he says. There are some things, definitely, I mean, every person will not agree with everything. He'll be a dumb person if he agrees with everything.
No, Sadhguru has to be in line with Shastra. If he's not in line with Shastra.
I think so. Certain things, some basic things, right? No, he, like for example, when he says, save the earth, that is save the soil, right? Save the soil. These are all good principles. But in Bhagavad Gita, again in the same 16th chapter, Krishna says, even the so-called goodness, if it is not connected with God, then it is of no use. Okay, it is of no use. So, I mean, you know, whatever he is doing, the save the soil, or there are good projects. But what is his goal? You know, when he's doing so many things, what is his ultimate goal?
So if you want to save the soil, you can listen to his instruction. But if you want to connect with God, you cannot, because he's not talking about it, right?
Yeah. If that is your goal, yeah, you can connect with him.
But
for that.
it's not like Sadhguru or any specific person, but there are people who are deceiving in the name of Shastras as well.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, Sadhguru says, okay, no Shastras, no God, maybe just light or something. I don't know, I've not seen complete, like what his concept is. He prays Shiva, so that maybe he believes in God or something. But there are people, there are yogis or sadhus who are now, because it's Kali Yuga, they're also making money in the name of God and scriptures.
Yeah.
And there are politicians and people who are extreme rightists who are saying whenever convenient in the name of convenience, this is in Shastra, so do this.
Yeah.
Just to suppress people or something like that.
Mhm.
So, so the so Shastras are getting bad name, and like many young people like me, or younger people like me, younger people than me. So they were all thinking that, okay, Shastras is now, okay, culture or Shastras is equal to suppressing or questions.
Mhm.
I mean, I can believe in God and still question
Yeah.
many things. And that is why we're sent here anyway, as per our this thing as well, because God wants us to answer our own questions or experience and answer and get to know that He is Paramatma.
Yeah.
Right?
Shastras are not discouraging people to ask questions.
Yeah. But people in the name of Shastras, some people, some people are in the name of Shastras are doing that. So Shastras are getting the bad name for this. So how do we know, like, okay, Shastras are teaching this, but people are misleading, some people are misleading us, and it's, I mean, even when we are saying Anuman Praman, when we're experiencing this thing, it's until, like, even Sadhguru, until some principles are there, they're good. But once we go deep into it, then he doesn't have answers. And when people question him, he sometimes silences them with angry responses. And I've seen that.
Yeah.
When people ask some difficult questions, he cannot answer them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, so how do we know, like, I mean, believe in specific guru or sadhu son, and he's saying he's also getting all this information from Shastras. So that triangle sometimes could be misleading. There were so many people, even like Steve Jobs, right? Like he was in ISKCON association here.
Yeah.
And when he went to India, he was duped. He was taken all the money, or whatever happened to him, and he had to come back here, and something happened with him. Similar experience happened with him. And there were people who, mostly foreigners, who doesn't know anything about this thing. They were completely duped, and even Indians, some Bapus or some persons were assaulting women as well.
Yeah.
In the name of Shastras and this thing. So how do we learn around this?
See, the doctor can be wrong. but the medicine is never wrong.
No.
Medicine is never wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So the doctor who is practicing the medicine, he can practice in different ways. He can contaminate the medicine and, for his own business purposes, he can do different things. But the medicine is never contaminated. Medicine is never wrong. So Shastra always remains pure and Shastra always remains the Praman for everything. So, and a sincere seeker will definitely find the right Shastra.
And
So-
I think Shastras are very vast. They cover a wide variety of people, right? Based on their level and progress that they based on their goals. So everybody will find something that they want to achieve through Shastras. But then when it comes to God realization, they also have their Shastra has a section. So if somebody wants to progress in that direction, I think one is Paramatma inside you will guide. That is one thing. Another is also person who is a seeker has also a responsibility of doing some homework. Like he cannot blindly follow. Some homework he needs to do, and then rest will be guided by Paramatma with him.
Yeah, actually, your inner voice is always telling someone. In fact, say something like you are not a soul. Your inner voice tell, oh, he's telling wrong. Actually, you won't satisfy, right? So always that one guides.
So that is Paramatma.
Yeah.
The inner voice is Paramatma. It is not our voice, it is Paramatma. And most important than that is the Anubhava, right? The experience. The experience. Yeah. So most importantly, the experience.
I think even for all this, Tera Baba, one who comes in Swami or whatever it is, the people going through it, they might have experienced good, or maybe somebody might experience good, somebody might experience bad. I think the moment people experience a bad experience, they definitely come out of that.
Yeah.
They'll not continue there, right? Even
Yeah.
the bad people is
I have seen some examples of, I met some people. I met one person and we went to his house for something very unrelated, but he had some pictures of some Baba. So I just asked him, do you follow, and like some basic question. And then he told about an incident where he started following that Baba. And the incident was that Baba was in that area or something, and then he was with some of his followers, and it happened that he had to come to his home. And then he wanted to, that Baba asked to serve everybody tea. And he did not have tea or milk to serve everybody. So then that Baba said that, okay, bring the pot. Then he covered a cloth and then did something. And then he said that, okay, now serve from this pot. And everybody got milk, tea. And that he said that when I saw that, I just, I just surrendered to him. Now, if that is his criteria, then he'll be doomed, right? Yeah. If that is his criteria now, he said that from that day onward, I just surrendered into him.
Yeah.
He's like God to me.
Yeah.
Now, if that is his criteria, that somebody who can help everybody feed tea is my God, then you will get that kind of a God, right?
Yeah.
So slowly you will, gradually you will evolve. Suppose in the childhood, mother loves child so much, right? As the child grows big, right? He forgot his mother also. Like I think the criteria will change.
If he gets into some good association due to some, even a Shastra says, Ajnata Sukriti, like he happens to serve somebody, a pure devotee, by chance. He might get some Sukriti, and he will be, he'll get a higher realization. Okay, I should maybe, he'll get some inspiration to, go away from that and go in the right path. That happens.
Yeah. A sincere seeker shall always find in some way or the other. You will always
They'll
find.
always have a path.
Yeah, your soul will guide you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Master will manifest.
Raise hand. Yeah.
Oh, Ravi has a question.
Okay. Yeah. Radharaman Prabhu, go ahead.
No, I think I just wanted to. It's a very interesting discussion. I remember listening to a book a long time back. This book had a very profound influence on me. The book actually says, it's a psychology book, and it says that humans, at least we all have covers. Like it talks about we all have some kind of covers, but the covers or the mask comes off. something about that always registered with me. Anyway, I was also listening to Sadhguru. Again, I have nothing against him. He may be the higher elevated soul. I don't know all of that. The only thing is, I remember before I became a devotee, there was one time somebody was asking him, hey, about Bhagavad Gita, and they were asking him what are the lessons of Bhagavad Gita. And I remember he mentioned, oh, I haven't read Bhagavad Gita or something like that. He clearly said that. And I think that was the time I stopped listening to him. That was the last time I listened to him. That kind of like gives me, like what you're saying, Prabhu, is that how do you know Acharya is in the right parampara? What are they quoting about? Are they quoting directly from air? Are they quoting from previous Acharyas? Are they quoting from Srila Prabhupada's book? Are they quoting from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam? I think it becomes very clear. So it's very important for us to pay attention, like really be intently listening what somebody is saying, because inevitably whatever is in their heart will come out. It's just the nature of the psychology. You cannot have that mask forever. The other thing I will say, and this is the thing is, we at least in modern India, we don't have the right way of like learning. We are not taught the right things for a long while. We are not taught the scriptures in schools, for whatever reason. So that's why we get into this place where we are all working, and we listen to somebody like Sadhguru who has long beard, and he looks like a mystic, and we get attracted because that is the one piece of our life that is missing. But what we should know is that actual acharyas, they have a lot of history of austerity. They have done a lot of history. They have served their gurudevs. They went through the procedure, and that will come out. And even how they dress. For example, how do we see our gurus, right? Srila Prabhupada or any picture you see, he's always wearing saffron clothes, and that is the way. And if you see someone else who's not doing that, they're always, maybe wearing different kind of clothes, then that's another tell, right? I mean, so those are some of the things you need to watch out for. I agree. This topic is a very complex topic. It's a lifelong learning lesson, but if you keep an eye out and you listen to some of the, listen to or look at our acharyas and how they came about becoming an acharya, you'll actually distinguish who's an acharya and who's not an acharya. I'll give one example and I'll end it. Sorry, I'm taking a little more. I remember listening to Amarendra Prabhu Krishna Katha, and he mentioned that Srila Prabhupada, before he started traveling, in that ship to the Western countries, he was in Vrindavan for a period of 10 years, and he chanted the holy name close to a billion. So that's almost like 200,000 or 300,000 times a day for almost 10 years. And so that's when he after that he started the journey. So they've done, all of these acharyas in our Guru Varga, they've done a lot of penance. You take anyone, Bhaktivendanta Thakur, you take Gaur Kishore Das Babaji or Bhaktivendanta Thakur, they've all done a lot of austerity before they became acharyas and maharajas. That's it. So that's another indication to know that this person is a bona fide guru. Sorry, I took more time.
Thank you for the valuable points.
You can read and listen to the life sketch of these acharya. If you're genuinely, if you want to go progress in that direction, you will get that feel. Okay, this is the right person. If you look at the life history of anybody else, like Sadhguru, how did he start his journey? If you see, like, there is no background actually. But if you look at, so right now, there is Gaurang Prabhu is giving a series of lectures on the 6 Goswamis. So the life sketch, we listen to Sanatana Goswami, and then after we listen to other sessions also. Like if you just listen to their life history, you'll know, okay, where did they come from and how did they achieve that level that they were in. And then anybody who is following them is getting the same result and getting the same realization. So your faith will increase that, okay, they were following the scriptures nicely, and then through their realization, they also shared their knowledge with others, and those who followed them also, achieved the same results. So that builds that confidence and completes that triangle.
Yeah, the meaning of acharya, the word acharya means whatever he preaches, he just practices that. One who acharan means implementation, right? So whatever he preaches, he follows that, he practices that. So there is no difference between what he speaks and what he practices. Yeah. Whereas Sadhguru and all these people, right? Say Art of Living, Sri Ravi Shankar, or any other, organization. After 20-30 years, their era will end. Now some other guru will come. Some other Sadguru will come. So, yeah, that's why you have to see the parampara. What is their lineage? Where are they coming from? Where are they connected to? So Srila Prabhupada is connected to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He is connected to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is connected to someone. We have in the Bhagavad Gita, we have the parampara, right? So starting all the way from Lord Sri Krishna himself, Brahma, Narada, and so on. So we have a big lineage. So whereas all other gurus, there's no proper lineage. Yeah. Okay, it's already 1:30. I think we can end here. Obviously, we'll not be able to complete 17 and 18 today. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next week. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Risha, you can come here and join us for lunch. Yeah.
Yes, next time, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.